What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. Listen, this is going to be your review for Chasing Atlanta Season 6, Episode 6. I'm behind, and I know I'm behind, but that's okay because I did my review on the panel. I just ain't quite get around to doing it over here. So let's get into it. Y'all, we're going to go ahead. We are still at that damn pool party, okay? That's how far behind I am because we are still at the pool party. But let me tell you how I got my life watching Tonka yoke the hell up on Kane. That will never not be funny. When I tell you that I have looked at that clip 5,000 times down to the all them views, chasing reality, all them views that y'all getting on that clip on your Instagram page, it was me. It was me. Because when I tell y'all I watched that clip 5,000, I'm going to find a way. I'm going to clip it. And I'm going to make that a GIF or a meme, whatever they call it, over to my channel. Because, baby, the way Tonka... And the funny thing was Rico. Let me tell you something. The way you know that Rico and Tonka are friends in real life, I think I said this before, but I'm going to say it again because it needs to be said again. The way you know they friends in real life is because the look on Tonka's face, Tonka ain't even have to say nothing. And Rico was like, friend, calm down, friend. Because he already knew what it was. But Tonka told Kane, don't try it. Like, I'm not one of these other hoes out here. Like, you know what we got going on. I don't know how far they were in their relationship journey at that point, but clearly they were already at a point where Tonka knew what you not gonna do is talk to me crazy. And see, that's what you got to do sometime when it comes to a relationship. I ain't saying put your hands on people. Don't go nowhere telling nobody to put that out. That really be said jack your man up or jack your woman up. I didn't say that. But what I'm saying is you have to set boundaries in your relationship early on and let the people know what you are and what you are not going to put up with. Okay, that's what I said. I didn't say choke nobody. I mean, unless they ask you to. That's another conversation. So... J.M. Moore gets ready to leave because J.M. Moore said, I'm not here for none of the foolishness, okay? I'm not here for it. I don't think I like my friend in this situation, so I am going to exit stage left. Now, Troy was also dressed and getting himself together because Troy said, listen, I got to get to my good 9 to 5 down to the Balenciaga. Troy, can I get your discount? When I come to Atlanta, if I take you out to dinner, can I use your discount? How does that work? I'm just saying. Moving on. But Tonka went to go talk to Troy. And Troy said, listen, I'm tired of this and I'm over it. King Kane is trying to bring that Dallas shit here. And that is just not how we roll here, okay? Atlanta is different. It's a different flavor. It's a different vibe. And maybe the Atlanta girls 3 years ago would have been here for these shenanigans. But we're just not there anymore. Now, Troy, I can appreciate that you're saying you're not the same person you used to be. But, baby, it's the same stuff, different day. Like, everybody got their ish with them. But I understood what you were trying to say. I felt you. I felt you. And I can appreciate that Tonka went to have a conversation with you to find out what the issue was and talk to his friend. I could see that. I was here for that. I could respect that conversation. Now, while this was going on, King Kane was still down to the party arguing with Neek and getting in Neek's face. Here's the thing. Neek was over it. He wasn't here for it. He didn't want to have the conversation. He didn't want to engage in the conversation. Willa was trying to get you to stop because, listen, everybody was like, listen, we are just here to have a good time. We are over this conversation. We are tired of this conversation. You still want to argue with Neek. Listen, I already told y'all what I think it is. Whatever was going on between Neek and Troy off camera, Neek and Troy resolved off camera. Now, in the interim, when Neek and Troy weren't cool, they both, it sounds like they was talking ish, and it went through King Kane. But at this point in time, none of them are entertaining it. Troy and Neek have worked out whatever they worked out, and they are cool with the fact that they were talking ish about each other down to wherever they were, dealing with whatever it was they were dealing with. They are okay with it, okay? And you are trying to bring that in here, and none of them are here for the energy, Kane. They're just not, okay? So that's just kind of how that whole thing went down. Everybody tried to tell you, Kane, let it go. I don't know if he's going to hear it. I don't know. So then we have Jatwan trying to have a conversation with Oliver about getting a refund for his friends from the party. Listen. And it's gonna probably get me cussed out. And it ain't the first time, and it's probably not gonna be the last time, so it's okay. Jatwan, you trying to bring in stuff that happened or in the mix with Twixt into this situation. Once Oliver told you he don't have nothing to do with the money, that conversation is over. I'm not even going to get into bringing the cameras over and all that. I don't care about none of that. I just don't. Because it's a reality show. You wanted a scene. You wanted it to be filmed. And there it is. I'm not even saying that the conversation wasn't a bad conversation to have on the front end. But once Oliver told you, I don't have nothing to do with the money. I am the face of this event. I'm sorry that your friends spent money and they don't feel like they got what they asked for, because you're right. It was advertised as a rooftop situation. We done changed locations 3 times. I understand everything. I feel your pain, sir. But the person you need to talk to is over there. I don't have no money. Ain't nobody cash at me, Zelle me. Nobody sent me a kite. None of that. He got it. Him. Over there. And if you want a refund, him over there is who you need to get it from. So I understood. Now, what I thought was hilarious was while they were trying to have this conversation, the peoples was twerking and dancing all around them. And so in that, again, Oliver is just like, I'm done. I'm moving on from this. Like, I'm over it. So then we see Tonka and Tony getting caught up. Tonka is bringing Tony up to speed on what had happened down to the pool party. Tonka is talking about he's having surgery coming up. She's talking about her nose surgery, which, you're a beautiful girl. That's all I got. Honestly, this scene didn't care nothing about it. No disrespect. Y'all know I love Tonka down. And Tony, you are a beautiful lady that I'm getting to know. But honestly, I don't care nothing about this scene. I really don't have nothing. I think they talked a little bit once again about this legendary status icon situation. Again, Tony, I'm sorry that you was looked over. I'm sorry you were, because it sounds like you were looked over. It sounds like the Kiki scene did you dirty. And you were owed all the flowers and all the recognition for what it is that you did for that community, down to the Atlanta. That's all I got. That's all I got for that. So Dominique and Oliver meet down to, I don't know, it was a dessert store that was selling tuna fish. I was confused a little bit. Now, it's a black establishment, so I ain't gonna give it too much. But I thought that Oliver had said that it was like a dessert shop or something. But then when they was filming, I saw like canned goods and raisinets and tuna fish. So listen, I'm all here for a good old-fashioned bodega. But I was just a little confused. So Oliver and Neek are meeting up. I'm sorry, Neek. I don't mean no harm when I say Neek. For some reason, I feel like whenever I say Neek, I gotta say Neek. I think y'all remember the Road Runner and the Coyote, and it's like beep beep. I feel like in my head every time I say Neek, I'm saying Neek. So I don't mean no disrespect at all. So Neek is trying to bring the people together. Oliver said he tired. He said, I've been trying to bring these people together for the last 3 seasons. And every time I try to do something, it turns into a whole situation, and then Oliver gets blamed. Oliver be trying to bring the girls together, but somehow it becomes Oliver's fault. And you know what? I ain't doing it no more. I ain't here for it, and I ain't doing it no more, okay? Nick said, okay, but, you really done trying to bring the people together? Oliver said, I am done trying to bring the people together. He said, but here's what I can do for you, okay? What I can do for you is I can have me a good old-fashioned speed dating situation. And why don't you come? You single, I'm single. Why don't you come? And we're going to invite the girls, okay? And we're going to have ourselves a good old-fashioned speed dating situation so that we can all meet so we can all meet the people we need to meet, to who we need to meet up with, right? So then we see Kane meet up with Jatwan, and they went and they got the little, what do they call them things? The yoni pot situation. Now, I didn't know men did that. I did not know men did the yoni pot. The yoni pot is when you sit on the little pot and it steams up and it's supposed to rejuvenate and cleanse your hoo-ha. I knew that women did it. I've been wanting to do one. I just never got around to doing it, but I did not know it was a thing men could do. Now, Kane said that that's something he does on a regular basis. So I guess it is all a part of your personal cleansing ritual, and I'm here for it. I just didn't know. Okay. Now, Jatwan said it made you feel real high, and it even got you a little high. Was it CBD in the mix that it got you high? I don't know. But anyway, so with that being said, once again we talking about Neek and Troy and the relationship and what Kane did or did not say. Then Jatwan wants to talk about Oliver and his issues with Oliver. And it's funny because you could tell that Kane wanted no parts of that. Kane wanted no parts of that conversation. He was just kind of like, oh, well, I mean, and you know, it's funny because everybody in this episode, I felt like everybody that Jatwan tried to talk to about the situation with Oliver was like, well, did you talk to Oliver? Maybe you need to talk to Oliver. I don't know what the issue is, but maybe you should talk to Oliver. And I was just like, child. Because, listen. I feel like I'm over the whole Oliver Jatwan situation because I remember it playing out during the In the Mix with Twixt. And I feel like this is just an extension of the whole In the Mix with Twixt situation. And I'm just over it. Some people, you know, and reality shows sometimes try to force people to be friends that just won't. In real life, you just don't click with everybody. And reality shows force you to be in a situation with people that you normally would be like, hey, this is somebody that I don't want in my space because we don't click. And I think Jatwan and Oliver is just an example of that. But because they're on a show together, it's a forced situation there. But anyway, so we go to practice with Tony with her house, you know, and we find out. I did not know that Berlin was in the Kiki scene up in New York. I didn't even know Berlin lived in New York. She said she was in college, you know, and she was doing ballroom, and ballroom is expensive. And she said, you know, I was at a point where, shoot, I was damn near homeless trying to fool around with being in ballroom and being, you know, but she said, you know, I wouldn't trade it for the world. It was, you know, it was a great experience, but I had to sort of walk away from it because financially I just could not afford it anymore. But we saw Berlin do a little walk, gave us a little something. But shout out to Berlin. See, I'm learning stuff about you, Berlin. You ain't used to talk and tell us nothing about you and what you had going on, girl. And it's great to hear about you and learn about these things. So then we see her and Tony talking afterwards. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you the truth. She got to talking about that sugar daddy situation again. And I just don't care. I don't care. So moving on. So then the final scene of this episode, well, the next to final scene was a really, really good scene. It involved all of the girls. It was Seven and Willa and Tony. And then Kendra was there, y'all, and Berlin. So it was good to see Kendra. You know, we didn't know all that Kendra had going on, so it was really good to see Kendra there. And Kendra really did seem to be in a better headspace. Was this the last scene? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I think it was. Anyway, see, when you watch 2 episodes back to back, you forget what was on one scene and what was in the next scene. But yeah, I think this was the last scene. Okay. So we see them at a therapy session, basically talking about the trials and tribulations of living your trans life, right? The transition, dating, sex, all of the things dealing with your family accepting you. And I remember, I don't know where I heard this. I don't know if I heard this on the show or if I heard this watching something else. But it might have been, what was I listening to? Damn. I feel like it was on the show. But I was listening to something. And what they were saying was when you are trans, it's almost like you have to come out to your family 3 times, right? First, you got to tell your family you're gay. In most cases. Not every case, y'all. Then it's sort of like, well, I think I'm bisexual, non-binary. These are my words, y'all. I'm telling you, I was listening to something, and this was what was being said. And then it's like you sort of have to come out to your family again and say, okay, I'm gay, I'm trans, and explain all of that. And for some families, they roll with it. And for other families, we know that it's a lot of rejection, it's a lot of misunderstanding, it's a lot of disrespect and ignorance, all of the above. So all of those things were talked about, and I thought it was a really great conversation. I felt like they were in a really safe space. I appreciated the facilitator and how it was done. I thank all of the ladies for sharing their experiences and sharing what they were going through. 7 being the youngest, just starting her transition journey. She talked about, and I think this is something that's going to come back and bite her, but I understood what she was saying. I understood what 7 was saying. 7 said, listen, I'm sort of experimenting with sex. She said, I'm learning how to have sex in my new body. What makes me feel good, what I like and what I don't like. She is HIV positive, which she shared, but she said at this point she is undetectable to the point where she doesn't even have to take meds. I think she said she takes a shot once every month or once every couple of months or something. And so she said that's something she has to, explain to people that, listen, I can't give you HIV. I can't pass it. I'm undetectable. And so thank God that medicine has advanced to that point. But I feel like the girls are thinking that maybe she's just out here just hoeing down. And I didn't take it as that. Like, she's dealing with a lot. She's got the hormones, and she's getting breasts and curves, and things are changing on her body, and I'm sure that the hormones are making things feel different as well. And so I understood what she was saying when she was like, listen, I have to figure out my body and what feels good to me and what I like and what I don't like. As long as she's being safe, I don't give a damn. And I would say that to anybody. I'm not saying that just because she's HIV positive. I would say that to anybody. Just be safe. I don't care. She grown. Anyway. So after the conversation, we saw Kendra and Berlin have a conversation. And Berlin is trying to talk to Kendra about Wayne and how Wayne left them on the plane. Left them at the airport, got on the plane. Baby, the way Kendra was like, I don't want to have nothing to do with that. The way Kendra said, well, you know what? I don't know nothing about it. You might want to talk to Wayne. And I can appreciate that because I feel like, once again, Berlin was trying to pull Kendra into that situation. And Kendra was like, I don't know nothing about it. Even though me and Wayne got our own thing going on right now. But I ain't about to get into nobody else's situation because, hell, me and Wayne got our own shit that we dealing with. And so I could appreciate that Kendra was like, I just ain't here for it. Now, was this the scene where they talked about Oliver and Kendra said the same thing? I think that was in the next episode. So if it was this episode, oh well, I'll address it in the next video, child, because I'm trying to keep these videos separate. Okay. But that was pretty much episode 6. I'm about to do episode 7 and get caught up because episode 8 is on as we speak. Okay. So let me get caught up and I will talk to y'all later. Peace.